All over the world, stark images of planes, wing to wing, on idle runways and taxiways.
It's a very unnatural thing to have your fleet, for an airline, to have your fleet sitting on the ground.
A startling visualization of the toll of this crisis.
It's not going to be a snapback.
Especially on an industry that relies on movement.
A fair amount of concern and anxiety amongst our employees.
Jim Landers is an executive at Hawaiian Airlines, a company uniquely isolated in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic.
We have in the low triple digits of guests flying each day, where we would normally have on the order of 30,000 or so flying each day.
Hawaii's geographical isolation is one thing, but Hawaiian Airlines relies largely on vacationers, and they're gone.
It's a one-trick pony in many regards in terms of its network, and if there's not a lot of leisure demand to Hawaii, kind of hard for Hawaiian to adapt in some of the ways that other airlines are able to do more nimbly.
Seth Kaplan studies the airline industry.
It's an airline that's managed through a lot. It has generally done a good job reinventing itself.
And like its larger competitors, that's something Hawaiian is doing again, in a state where driving from county to county isn't an option.
We move the state's blood supply, we move pharmaceuticals, we move certainly PPE and masks that we've been moving around for the state.
As demand drops more than 90% across the board, Hawaiian is one of 10 airlines getting a combined tens of billions of dollars in grants and loans from the government. But it's only a stopgap.
$25 billion sounds like a lot of money, but it's going to start circling the drain pretty quickly here.
The money is conditional on airlines keeping their workers on the payroll through the end of September. After that, United Airlines, for one, is planning for layoffs, telling employees we have some tough decisions ahead as we plan for our airline and our overall workforce to be smaller than it is today, starting as early as October 1.
These government funds also carry an obligation to serve, and that's an obligation we are honored to fulfill.
American Airlines CEO Doug Parker offering a different outlook, telling employees he hopes Americans are flying regularly again by September 30th.
There's almost nobody who thinks that travel demand is going to rebound by October 1st to where it was before.
In the meantime, airlines are offering voluntary leaves and pivoting their flying to cargo.
We fly about 120,000 pounds a day.
Major passenger airlines used to flying cargo in the belly, now loading up whole planes to shuttle boxes.
I don't think they're going to ever optimize their networks for cargo, mostly because, look, these are passenger airplanes, right?
If the passenger plane will start flying regular schedule, we don't have a problem anymore. But the question is, will they start flying regular schedule?
At Hawaiian's central hub in Honolulu, the main job these days is keeping these birds ready to go when duty calls again.
We check tire pressures and check oils and fluids throughout the airplane. We cycle all the flight controls and start the engines a couple of times a week.
How long would it take if they started to go into rotation, if they started flying flights?
I think each plane would probably take on the order of about 8 to 10 man hours of work.
It may not be a snapback, but airline leaders are projecting optimism that flying like we used to do it will be back, middle seats and all.
The people of Hawaiian Airlines and the state of Hawaii have been through adversity and hardship before. We will emerge and recover over time.
James Packard, Newsy, Chicago.